Yeah, so I'm just gonna be honest right now. This is gonna be like just a me ranting for I don't know how long, and whatever clips I put on, it's just clips that you know I found out that I couldn't really use NFL highlights without like get it with the risk of like getting my channel shut down. So I'm just throwing on random COD clips that I just recorded like 15 minutes ago, and it's like 12:40 in the morning. So it's just like kind of I was not trying at all. So yeah, enjoy. So the Bears played the Lions. The Bears played the Lions on Sunday afternoon. Me, along with I feel like many Bears fans were expecting it to be an easy win, right? Because they're the Lions. The Lions have not been good for the last who knows how long, right? I just how were we so wrong? What happened? Like, okay, I guess I'll start with the good, because the team for the most part actually looked pretty fun to watch. Okay, but besides that, oh, oh, like David Montgomery, he's like playing like a man possessed all of a sudden. I would like to attribute that maybe a little bit to the actual offensive line, but again, we're playing with our third string offensive line, and our normal first string offensive line isn't that good anyways. So I don't know if it's just like David Montgomery just like, is playing with a chip on his shoulder all of a sudden, or if it's just like the O line is suddenly somehow figuring out how to create holes that he can run through. Like, he's had two like pretty big runs, and like that touchdown run at towards the beginning of the game, like beast mode junior, I like to call it, like he stiff armed like five people on defense and he just broke a bunch of tackles. Like, that was insane. Like, I was enjoying being a Bears fan again for the first time in a while. And like for the first, literally the whole game up until like 4 minutes into the, or 4 minutes left on the fourth quarter when they started their comeback, the game was actually pretty enjoyable to watch. There weren't any like atrocious mistakes. Trubisky didn't like ignore an open man and throw into like 3-man coverage or anything. Like the mistakes you saw in the Packers game were pretty much non-existent this time, actually. Like, when Trubisky was facing pressure, he's able to actually, chuck it past the line of scrimmage so he wouldn't get intentional grounding, whatever, right? Like, we looked like a competent team for the most part. We didn't, it wasn't like, it wasn't like games of the past where like, we just completely collapse on both sides of the field. Again, I'm talking about before the actual collapsing on both sides of the field. But like, we looked like a competent team. We looked like a fun team out there. Like, it wasn't 2018 level. Like, whenever I'm talking about a Matt Nagy led team, also I'm going to get into my rants about Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace in a bit, but when I think about a Matt Nagy team, I just look back to 2018, right? Because that was a special year. Like, anyone who's a Bears fan just enjoyed watching the Bears for once that year, right? Like, what are we, 12-4? 3 of those games were not even like, were just extremely close. Like that first Packers game again, like, I feel like anytime we play the Packers, we just get disappointed. Like, I remember 2018, I was not expecting anything at all from the Bears, because, I'd been disappointed, whatever. And then we almost won, but I digress. But this week, like, easy game. Like, I thought, I feel like at least any Bears fan who hadn't lost complete hope yet, I think most fans who were in the same boat as me thought like, this would be an easy bounce back game after like the demoralizing 41 points dropped against us by the Packers, right? Thought like, this would be like a good easy comeback game, gain his momentum to like for the final stretch. Maybe like now I'm realizing like it's the Chicago Bears, so I shouldn't expect much, but maybe win out the rest of the season. By some luck we get into that second wild card spot, and like, we have some playoff football, right? Just fun stuff to watch. And then, and like for most of the game, I genuinely thought like that's what is happening. Like, I was ready to see Cordero Patterson do his like "How about them Bears" thing again, right? Or something like that. Just the team having fun again. I mean, if we saw club dub videos, I'd be pretty mad because we had lost 5 straight. But it's just so disappointing to be a Bears fan. I don't get it. Like, all right, let's I guess I'm done talking about like all my expectations. Now let's go into that collapse. Like, what happened there? Okay. This game was almost entirely the fault of our coaching, okay? Trubisky was playing decent, okay? Like, he was playing at the level of maybe like a below average NFL QB. Like, he was still playing at NFL QB level, just a little below average, right? Like, he was playing like a serviceable quarterback. Our offense was playing good enough, right? Like, we were getting big gains. David Montgomery, like I said, was playing insane, out of his mind. Our defense was good as well. We were getting stops where we needed. That Bilal Nichols pick was pretty nice to watch. Big man pick is always nice. But I just don't get what happened. Like, if we were able to get that one first down and maybe another in those last like 2 minutes before Trubisky fumbled it, we would have won that game. Like, we would have easily won the game. The Lions only had one timeout. It's not that hard to win a game with 2 minutes left when you already have the lead, right? It's not like you're running an insane 2-minute drill, you're 6 points down or 7 points down, and then you have to get the 2-point conversion or whatever, or you're 8 points down, whatever. No, we were ahead by 3 points. Like, that, for any other team, that would be an easy win, well, except for the Jets, but again, I digress. Except for the Bears, apparently. Like, why are you calling passing plays on a 1st and 10 when they have one timeout left? Basic rule of coaching, basic rule of play calling. Just run the ball when you're trying to chew the clock, right? That's a basic rule. It's not that hard. I don't get what was going through Matt Nagy or Bill Lazor's head when they decide to call pass plays on like with like 2.5 minutes left in the quarter. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I guarantee if they were just running the ball, maybe like, if they threw the ball on 3rd down, right? Like that makes sense, because you gotta get the conversion. If they actually threw the ball on 3rd down, or I think he fumbled it on 3rd down, but the problem was like they didn't run it on first and 2nd down. Like, they could have made up some yardage. Like, instead of throwing on a 3rd and 10, they could have threw on like a 3rd and 2, and yeah. And then again, like, what was Allen Robinson doing? Like, what was that? Like, we could have maybe made a comeback. Why did Allen Robinson run out of bounds a yard short? Like, there's no way that wasn't intentional, right? Like, this is kind of like Jets level intentional tanking now. Like, Jets, there's no way that any competent coach would have lost that Jets game. But again, I'm not talking about the Jets. I'm talking about the Bears. Like, I can't show the clip because I'm not trying to get shut down by the NFL or something or anything. But what was that? Like, he caught the ball. He was open. Like, I think a defender was coming at him, but he could have ran out of bounds, after crossing the 1-yard line. Then poor David Montgomery, man. Like, he had to rush through like an entire. He had to rush through like 4 D linesmen. Unfortunately, couldn't get that first down, and then we ended up losing, of course. But like, I know no one's really talking at Allen Robinson as much as the Mitchell Trubisky fumble, because this city hates or loves to hate on Trubisky and Foles now. I mean, rightfully so. I'm not saying like our fans are toxic for that. Like, Trubisky has caused us. The fact that we drafted Trubisky, the fact that we traded up to draft Trubisky in the first place is an insane idea, as like the entire footballing world reminds the Bears of. But I don't get it. Like, just a whole combination of mess ups in those last 4 minutes just led to this loss. Like, the problem was, like, it wasn't like we were playing like terrible the whole game. We were playing fine. Like, we were playing better than normal Bears football, which, for me is like, or at least for most of us Bears fans, is like a great step up. I'm literally speechless. Like, what, the game has happened. It's been 36 hours now. I'm recording this at like 12:58 a.m. since the game started, or yeah, 36 hours since the game started. I'm just in disbelief that happened. Like, after the game, like, I went off social media. I just put my phone down. I just went outside for a walk. try to clear my mind. Like, I don't let sports affect me that much, but like that was something else. Like, that just hurt to watch. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm just, again, still in disbelief. Like, jaw-dropped disbelief. I don't get it. And then, now onto the part that I bet, like, anyone who's not a Bears fan has been waiting for. My rant against Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. Let's start with Matt Nagy. This man is, like, the worst coach. I have no doubt, like, he might be some offensive genius or offensive mastermind, right? But I'm starting to doubt that because any Andy Reid product is starting to fail when he's not with Andy Reid. Similar to the whole Bill Belichick system, like, except for Brian Flores. He's good. But we saw Matt Patricia. He got fired last week after an abysmal career with the Lions. Doug Peterson, yeah, he won a Super Bowl, but now look at what the Eagles are doing, competing with the entire tank division or the NFC least or whatever you want to call it, with the Washington name redacted, New York Giants, and forgot the other team. And the Dallas Cowboys, all are like who are doing terrible. Actually not. Actually, they did pretty good this week, surprisingly. I don't know what happened there. The football team beat the Steelers. That's crazy, but whatever. But the problem is, like, yeah, maybe Matt Nagy might be an offensive genius, but he is a terrible coach. Like, I retweeted this quote where a reporter asked the question, like, what happened? Like, how did this team fall off so hard in the last 2 years? And Matt Nagy's response was literally, yeah, I don't know. This is a professional NFL head coach who's literally just saying, yeah, I don't know. Why his own team is regressing, or like why his own team is not performing up to the standards that they set for themselves 2 years ago. Like, I understand, like, the commentators were talking about this a lot because, that Packers game was embarrassing, but like a lot of people were talking how he, like how Matt Nagy ripped into the whole team after the game because, like, rightfully so, right? I was talking about this last week, how, like, he didn't deserve to, but, like, I mean, that is just again, planned incompetence. It felt like the entire team just showed up just to be incompetent that day. But again, that's not relevant to the Lions game. I'm just like, so many thoughts are still racing through my mind right now about this. It's just Matt Nagy's not a good coach. Like, he's I've been a strong supporter, or not really strong supporter, but like I've been on the, like, hey, we should just keep him around to see what happens train for a while now. Like, I know people are calling to fire him, like, after we lost our first game against the Colts, and I'm like, come on, it's only one loss. And now, after that Packers game and then this Lions game, yeah, I'm off. Like, fire Matt Nagy, fire entire coaching staff, like our offense, like Bill Lazor, Chuck Pagano. Again, Chuck Pagano's fine, I guess, but, people are calling for him to be fired because our defense has regressed as well, and, I completely understand that. Any coach who I have hope for ends up being trash anyway, so whatever. And, yeah, this is just, Matt Nagy is just, like, no words. Like, that's terrible. And then Ryan Pace, this man has got to be, like, the most overrated general manager from the last 3 years. He won NFL Executive of the Year in 2018. I don't even know why, okay? I think the only memorable move he made was trading for Khalil Mack, and that wasn't even a fleece of a trade. That is literally taking a player from a team whom he didn't want to play for anymore. Like, there were talks that he was going to do a contract hold on and everything with the Raiders because he was tired of being with the Raiders. Khalil Mack was. I don't remember exactly the details of the trade now, but I do know one of the picks that we ended up trading them was Josh Jacobs. So, I guess it's a win for both of us, more of a win for the Raiders now because the Raiders are actually doing good. But since then, what has Ryan Pace really done? Ryan Pace's best, I'm putting that in quotes, most infamous accomplishment is trading up to the second pick to draft Mitchell Trubisky when Heisman winner, Clemson starter, Deshaun Watson was still on the board. And, like, that the 49ers didn't even want to draft a quarterback. I don't get why Ryan Pace felt the need to trade up. Like, they ended up drafting Joey Bosa, I don't remember which Bosa, but one of the Bosa brothers who's, of course been performing. While the Bears drafted Mitchell Trubisky. I don't get it. Like, 49ers already had their quarterback Garoppolo by then, right? I think they already made that trade for Garoppolo. So the league knew they didn't want a quarterback. I don't know why. It is just Pace throwing away picks. And then people can say, I used to say, like, yeah, keep Ryan Pace. At least he drafts well in the middle rounds or middle to late rounds. Like, and I agree with that, right? Like, Jalen Johnson, Darnell Mooney have been playing lights out this year. Like, Jalen Johnson is like making case for defensive rookie of the year, NFC defensive rookie of the year. Although like our recent failures may hurt his case a little, but he's still like him and Kyle Fuller are still like some of the best cornerback duo in the league apparently, or like second best or like up there top 5 or something, right? Which is insane for a rookie corner. Darnell Mooney, you saw him if you watched the Lions game. He was playing pretty good in the Lions game. He's fast. Like Turbo Taylor Gabriel, but without the age and the concussion issues and all that. So Pace knows how to draft well in the middle rounds, but that's not a reason to keep him anymore. He made 0 moves on the offensive line, even though like we knew, like any lay person who watches the Bears would know that like the offensive line was terrible last year. It's just a fact of life, kind of. I'm so disappointed in this team. I don't get how I wake up every Sunday with high expectations, like, oh, we're playing the Lions this week, and then like easy win, that'll get our momentum back, and then they pull this stuff, like fire Ryan Pace, fire Matt Nagy, let the entire board step down, sell the team. We need a complete overhaul in Chicago. I am tired of being a Bears fan. I can't believe I was looking into buying Bears season tickets until I realized how expensive they were. I can't believe I looked into buying going to as many Bears games as I could until before COVID, whatever. Why do I support this embarrassment of a team? Every single week, they just go in massively underperform. Like, they have 0 expectations and they still manage to disappoint the entire league. Like, how do you do that? I don't get it. I am tired of this team. I'm just ready for Bulls basketball to start on Friday because, at least I'll have a team that'll be maybe, like, they won't look like I'm at a loss for words. At least they won't just look like a complete incompetence, or at least they'll look like a team that knows how to play basketball. We got Billy Donovan there, we got AK, Mark Eversley leading the pack there, Patrick Williams looking like a stud. That's not important. I'm tired of this team. I cannot watch the Bears anymore. And I'm saying this right now, and then next week I'm going to go ahead and watch the Bears. They're playing the Texans next week, and I'm going to say it right now. I completely expect the Bears to win for some reason. I still believe that the Bears are at least like a top team in the league, right? Because my mind is still sour, or my mind is still like I still have like rose tinted glasses from whatever. You know what I'm trying to say, from 2018. Why am I doing this to myself? I am literally punishing myself by being a Bears fan. I wake up every week. We're going to finish with a losing record this year. There's no doubt about it. We're playing the Packers again this week, and we're 5-7 right now. And we're going to drop another game to the Vikings or someone down the line, right? There is no way we are finishing this, because 8-8 is the best we're asking for. We're not getting 8-8. There is no way the Bears are finishing 8-8 this year. 7-9 seems like the more realistic one, but honestly, with the way the Bears have been playing, I'm not going to be surprised if we finish 5-11. I am sick and tired of this team. 6-game losing streak, that's going to become we're on a 6-game losing streak right now. Yeah, that's just going to become a 10-game losing streak. We are losing out the season. There is no way we're winning another game, especially with this team. And if Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, and anyone else involved in making decisions of personnel on this team are still here come next season, I am not going to be supporting the Bears anymore. That's it. I'm done with this team, for real. I'm actually out. God, see you.